Hey everybody, Mazer here, and I want to wish everyone Happy New Year's. Happy New Year's! We're going to say goodbye 2019 and hello 2020. Today I want to do something a little different. Last year we did a top 10 Mazer reaction video to all the reactions I had during our live streams, and we are going to do that, but that is going to come out tomorrow. Today what we're going to do is basically a little awards ceremony. We are going to talk about some of the games that we played in 2019. I'm going to assign little awards to all of them. Ooh, special. Now, the requirements for these categories are basically any game that we streamed in 2019. It doesn't have to be a game we've actually beaten. It just has to be a game we actually streamed. So this is not an award ceremony about games released in 2019. It's games we streamed in 2019. So without further ado, let's get to the award ceremony and see what games made the list. Most frustrating game. Where do I even begin with Brutal Legend? With appearances by Ozzy Osbourne, Lemmy Kilmister, Lita Ford, and Jack Black as the main character, you would think this would be a perfect love letter to the rock fans. Instead, what we got was a game that had no idea what it wanted to be. One part hack and slash, one part RTS, Brutal Legend failed in the most important category of gaming, being entertaining. The awkward controls, annoying camera angles, and the army management turned the stairway into heaven into a highway to hell. So much so that I could not even finish the game as it was no longer fun. A shame too, because it was a great concept ruined by terrible execution. The most entertaining. While we played a lot of great games this year, one stood out on top when it came to being the most entertaining. That game is The Outer Worlds. The Outer Worlds gave me everything I wanted in an adventure game. Wacky weapons, interesting companions that I was actually emotionally attached to, and fun and zany NPCs. There was never a moment in The Outer Worlds that I found myself bored. Whether it was smashing enemies with a chainsaw axe or meeting new and exciting characters, The Outer Worlds kept me interested from start to finish. Most boring. It is very rare when I'm bored out of my skull with a video game. Even more rare when I finish that boring video game. But that was the case with Octodad. This was a game that every streamer seemed to play at one point or another when it came out. It was talked about, memed, and I expected it to be frustrating yet very fun. I was wrong. Octodad's silly premise quickly wore thin, and it was not long until the boredom kicked in. Hell, the only reason we even bothered to complete it was because it was so short. Otherwise, we would have stopped midway. Scariest game. During Halloween, I try to play as many horror games as I can. However, there was one game that we ended up playing months before the spooky holiday, and it quickly rose in the ranks as one of the scariest I've ever played. That game, of course, is Resident Evil 2. With RE2 being my favorite Resident Evil of all time, the remake took everything I loved and multiplied it by 100. The graphics, lighting, updated gameplay mechanics, it all worked together to make one of the most intense and frightening experiences I've ever played. Experiences that I won't soon forget. Most soothing. There comes a time during streaming where you just want to kick back and relax. So this year we played a game that not only allowed us to do that, but also provided an unhealthy amount of cuteness to boot. That game, of course, is Slime Rancher. I watched my niece play this and decided to give it a chance. I'm very glad that I did, because what I discovered was a soothing experience with cute and colorful critters, relaxing music, and stress-free fun. I highly recommend people to give this game a try when they have a chance. Most meh. This may be more on the controversial side, but this award goes to the N64 classic, The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time. I'm not going to beat around the bush with this. I was just not that impressed with Ocarina of Time. The mechanics of the game have not aged well, leading to several frustrating moments. The puzzles are repetitive, and overall I found the experience rather bland. And yes, I agree, Ocarina deserves its place in the analogs of gaming history for what it did to 3D adventure gaming. And yes, I agree that Ocarina deserves its place in the analogs of gaming history for what it did for 3D adventure gaming. But personally, I just feel that, while being well made, it does not hold up to the test of time as other Zelda titles have. Biggest surprise. 2019 had us playing a lot of great games, but none surprised me more than Subnautica. Even though this was the first game we streamed for the year, I still find myself thinking about it to this day. I did not know what to expect with Subnautica. I honestly thought it was going to be an underwater Minecraft, but what I got instead was an intense survival experience that chilled me to my core. This game has everything: crafting, exploration, base building, all within a terrifying atmosphere that kept me on the edge of my seat from start to finish. I cannot wait to return to this game in the future. Best retro game. There were quite a bit of retro titles we played this year, including Psyops, Wanda Gamelon, Rogue Squadron 2, and Ocarina of Time. But the one that stood out among all the others was the NES action-adventure game Demon's Crest. This gothic title is just jam-packed full of content. Tons of hidden items accessible through a Metroidvania style of gameplay, great boss battles, wonderful music, and some of the most beautiful sprite work I have ever seen. And while I've beaten it before, replaying it during our streams just reinforced how damn good this game really is. Best modern game. I know I should be more decisive, but damn it, this is my list and I'm sticking by my choice. The best modern game streamed is a tie between Resident Evil 2 and The Outer Worlds. Resident Evil 2 belongs here because it is hands down one of the best remakes in existence. The game on a technical level is astounding. From the gore, lighting, the sound design, I cannot describe in enough detail just how perfect of a remake this game is, and it is easily one of my favorites this year. On the other hand, I cannot discount just how much fun I had with The Outer Worlds. The NPCs, the weapons, the action, the quests, all of these things came together beautifully. I cannot remember the last time I enjoyed a game from start to finish as much as I did with The Outer Worlds. Having streamed both these titles this year, I could not decide which one stands above the other. Ergo, it is a tie. Deal with it. Game of the Year. We played so many great games in 2019, but the one that stood out the most for me was Subnautica. I cannot describe just how much this game sucked me in. The underwater environment brought a new level of anxiety that I've never felt before. I never felt safe in Subnautica, yet I was compelled to keep exploring. I feared the darkness, but ventured deeper into that inky abyss. Every sound spooked me, yet I could not stop seeking out the source. I enjoyed the base building. I loved the atmosphere. The storyline was heartwarming and detailed. The alien species fascinating and frightening. From start to finish, this game kept me interested and will forever have a very special place in my heart. And there you go, ladies and gentlemen, our little award ceremony for the games we streamed for 2019. Tomorrow I'll be working on the top 10 Mazer reactions of 2019, so please keep an eye out for that. Did you agree with my picks or do you disagree? Do you think some games should have gotten Game of the Year over others? Please let me know. I read the comments despite everyone telling you not to. Other than that, everyone have a safe, happy new year. Have a wonderful evening, a better tomorrow. I am Mazer and I will see you all next time. Bye.